Hey everyone, this is Alvin on behalf of Neil Napier and the rest of the KV social team. Before I get started, I just want to make sure that you can hear me. Just give me a quick yes or one in the chat if both audio and video is coming through loud and clear. All right, yeah, sorry about that, Mandy. We started a bit late today. That's why there wasn't any audio yet when you got on the webinar. All right, and let me know what part of the world you're watching this webinar from. So today we're gonna do the webinar a bit differently. We're not gonna focus on a lot of like sales stuff, but rather focus on what's inside the course itself. Because for me, after checked out the course, it actually answers 99.99% of all the questions and problems we had when we developed our own software. All right, so on your screen right now, you should be seeing build a six-figure passive software business even if you don't have any technical skills. Because skills is something that you can outsource. There's a lot of people who have the skills that you can acquire, you can borrow to fulfill or to make that dream possible. All right, so we have Joy, we have Brad from Tennessee, we have Fran from Canada. I always see Fran, I do apologize for that. I see Joy from New York, and aloha to you too from Augie, so from Hawaii, and Nigel from the UK. All right, so just a quick question before we even get started. Who here already has or has already started making money online? Give me a 1 if you have, or a 2 if you're totally new to the online market. What's a realistic price for a software developed? Just an average. There's really no average per se because it really depends on the scope of the software, what platform it is. So if you're talking about, let's say, for example, how to develop InstaSuite, that's actually a more advanced software that's going to cost a lot. But if you say, for example, you're going to develop something simple like a WordPress plugin, and if you have the right people, you know how to find the right developer, the right strategy, and you're very concise in what you need, it wouldn't cost you more than $200. It really depends on what function you're looking for. Okay, because we can't really give you like a quote because it's a very general question. It's like saying how much would it cost me if I go to the hospital, right? It really depends on what kind of operation I need or what kind of treatment I need. All right, so build a six-figure passive software business even if you have zero experience and zero technical skills. Because regardless, whatever niche you're on right now, whatever product you have, whatever business you have right now, the only way or the number one way to sell more or to build a profitable business is by creating and selling software. Because people absolutely love to automate. And that's why there's always going to be a strong demand for software, because software automates a lot of processes that people don't like to do. There's going to be, even Facebook notices this, right? You're now able to do auto replies on Facebook. You're now able to add or to automate a lot of your marketing stuff if you have the right tools. And because of this, software is something that's not going to go away. It's not going to fade away over time. All right? And even if you have no experience, don't worry, we're going to go through each and every single step so that everything will be clear. All right? So, the number one way to make money online is going to be selling software. And this is actually supported by facts if you go to JVZoo right now. Top 5 selling products of all time has always been software. You have InstaStore, you have landing page builders and all that. All of those are software, and they're selling well because it helps people automate a lot of the stuff. It helps people streamline the processes that normally takes 10 hours, 20 hours to do, and makes it like in just 10% of the time. And fact number 2 is that the top 10 best-selling software on JVZoo have grossed over $10 million. And you can have a piece of the pie if you can create that software. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be the next Facebook. Some people think that if when you create a software, it has to be perfect right away. Those people will never succeed, because when you first create a software, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be revolutionary. You have to start on the first step. You can't go from step 1 and jump to step 10 and create a software that people or everyone will love. Even Facebook started from a college university and build up from there. It wasn't perfect. It has its bugs. Even now, Facebook has its bugs. But it continues to get better and better every single day, every single month. And that's how you should look at things when you create a software. You start off with something simple and build it up from there. All right, Aikido, I'm gonna answer your question in a bit. So, which talks about logins and softwares. Okay, and of course, each one of those facts back up the thought that all of the best sellers are going to be software products, and that is going to be the wave of the future. No one right now is talking about how to do manual stuff. There's some trainings, yes, but if you're gonna compare training versus a software that does the same, but you don't actually need to do the work, which would you choose? Would you choose a training, or would you choose a software that does pretty much everything for you? If I was gonna make you choose right now, give me a 1 if you think you're gonna choose the training, or a 2, would you rather choose something that's automated, like a WordPress plugin, like a SaaS service that transfers your emails from your opt-in pages to your autoresponder? Exactly. All of you said 2. And there's always this wise guy that says 1 and wants to do the manual stuff. All right, so, but what's stopping you from creating your own software and selling it in JVZoo? Right? If you log into JVZoo right now, it's not going to cost you money to publish your product there. So what's stopping you? Is it the cost of creating products? Is it the knowledge you need to create those products? Or is it the experience? All these can be fixed with a simple roadmap and strategy. Now, I'm not saying that you can't build your own software without this, but you're going to encounter problems. You're going to encounter some delays. Perhaps you hired the wrong person, and that is something that can cost you thousands of dollars. In fact, let me give you a personal story when KV just got started. Now, over around 2 years or 2.5 years ago, we hired a development team in the Philippines. What happened was that the project was already 3 months in, so we paid them for 3 months worth of work. They were able to meet the milestones and all of a sudden, they disappeared with the code, and they even erased the codes in the repository, the online repository, or the GitHub, as what the programmers would say. So we spent thousands of dollars all for nothing. These are expensive mistakes that can happen to anyone if you don't have the strategy, you don't have the template or the system to follow through. Exactly, being held ransom to updates to the plugin. But there is a way that this can be fixed. If you have the right roadmap to follow, you have the right screening procedure to get the right developers to do the first time around, so you wouldn't have to spend money or waste a lot of your time trying to explain what your idea is. And of course, you have the right blueprint as well for the programmers to follow and understand what you need from the tool that they're going to be creating. And of course, if you have white label licenses to a software, this roadmap would be perfect for you. So just a quick question. Who here does have any white label license to any software? It could be from us, it could be from Sam, it can be from Radu. Give me a 1 if you have any kind of white label license to a software. Explain white label. Basically, some of the affiliates do offer white label products, which means that you can rebrand the software, you can add some new features to it, and you can launch it as your very own. You don't need to tell them that you bought the software from this product creator. Basically, you rebrand the entire thing, and you can even add features to it. All right. So, friend says 1. David says 1, another friend says 1, Mandy says 1, Dana says 1, and Margaret says a bunch of white label software. And I also think Joy has a lot of white label software because he's been on our call for, well, pretty much over the years now. All right. So if you have white label license to any software, think about being able to add more features to it and relaunching it as your own product. So instead of having to spend like $1,000 developing something from scratch, you can get a white label software, add in your own twist to it. You can change out the color schemes. You can even add some features or improve some of the things for, let's say, less than $100, less than $200, and you get to launch that product as your own. And now you have a software to start with. Again, as what I told you before, it doesn't need to be the one big thing that can make everything change. Right? When KV got started, the first software is something we bought from, I think it was, I forget the name of the site. We bought kind of like white label license to it plus developers for around $70, $185 or so. We got someone to code it, to add our own banners to it, to add our own logos to it, change out the colors a bit so that it won't look the same as the one being sold. Oh, on Code Canyon, with a $250 budget, the software plus the developer, we were able to launch it and made over $10,000. Was it perfect? Was it a great software? It was okay. Was it something people love or everyone love? No, but it still was able to make money. That's the point. You create the software, even if it's so basic, if you market it right, you start from there. Don't you get the source of the code to change the software? In most cases, for white label, yes. Unless they give you only limited white label where you can just rebrand the software. But usually they give you the source codes. All right, so, but basically what I'm telling you right now is that you can do it. It doesn't need to be that one big program that changes the world. You can start from a simple thing. Even start with a simple Facebook app. You could even start with a simple, even info products, start from there. It doesn't need to be that perfect thing the first time around. And this is what the software launch system is all about. It gives you step-by-step instructions on what you need to do to start making money by creating your own products. All right, so let me show you what's inside the members area. Now again, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to do the webinar a bit differently. Instead, we're going to focus on what's inside the software so that, or what's inside the training rather, so that you can see what's included and how it's going to benefit you. All right, so can everyone see the lesson plan right now for the software launch masterclass? Give me a yes once you see that screen, or two if you're still seeing a white screen or the PowerPoint presentation. All right, perfect. So pretty much everyone is on the same screen now. All right, so let's proceed. Now, this is a course created by Sam Baker himself. I think I think almost every one of you might know him. He has launched a lot of products, and basically what he did was to create a system that you can follow through, even if you don't have any experience, and see how everything is done, even with a very limited budget. All right. So you have the introduction here. We're gonna skip through that. We have the goal settings here. For example, how to set a goal, right? How to set a strict budget, and what would be your preferred return for that product. Now you can always go more, but having a tangible goal is going to be something that allows you to see how far along are you when it comes to achieving it, right? So most people will always say that, hey, if I want to create a software, I'm not going to put any limit to it. So I'm gonna try to sell and make as much money as possible. Yes, in a way that's correct, but there's no way for you to see how far along are you in the project. How far along are you with when we can say that you have achieved your goal and you can move on from another project. Remember the tunnel vision, right? So if you're so focused on one thing and you would like to make that the best thing in the world, in most cases you will fail. Once you create a product, launch it, maybe for 3 to 4 days, just like with any product launch that we do ourselves. And once it's done, move on to another project. Use the money you have earned from that software, from that launch, and roll it over to another one. Your first project will still make a bit of money, but now you have the resources to start something else and create multiple streams of income. All right, so guys, let me know if that is making sense so far. And we're going to deal into the lesson plan a bit more thoroughly here. So don't focus on one big thing. A lot of big companies do that because they have the resources. It's not exactly money is not exactly a problem for them. Incremental success, exactly, Mandy. One software to another, multiple software launches so that you can create multiple streams of income. And maybe after a year or after 2 years, you can go back to the software and launch a version 2. Now, who here have seen that happen on JVZoo? I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that happen. Right? So, for example, Andrew, Sam creates a software on January, launches another one in February and March and all that, and back next year, they're going to come back to it and launch a version 2, a 2.0. It has the same basic stuff, but a lot of features has been improved. Maybe added a new function here and there. Because that's how small software launches work. It's not something like Microsoft does. It's not something like that Apple does, right? You have to create multiple streams of income. But of course, make sure you create a software that doesn't compete with your own, so it's counterintuitive in that way. Something that supports your previous software. For example, we launched InstaStore, right? We launched InstaStore in better part of last year, and then we followed that up with AdHero. Why? Because InstaStore is an e-commerce platform, and just in case you need money to drive traffic, you need more like banner ads to advertise a certain product. To create a Cyber Monday banner or a Black Friday banner, you're gonna need to hire a graphic designer to create a banner for you. So we created AdHero instead to complement or to fix that problem as well. This way, we make our customers happy because they don't need to hire someone every time, but we also make sure that we acquire new customers for every software launch that we do. So for those who are not interested with e-commerce, perhaps they're going to go and buy AdHero because they think it's going to be something that they can use in their business. Maybe they're not interested in e-commerce, but rather they focus on Facebook advertising, and they've been looking for a banner ad creator that works with Facebook. So that's the mindset there. Focus on creating one product at a time, but your next product should not compete, but rather it should complement your last product. So, first of all, once you have set up your goal, it's not to develop a mindset of software success, because success with software and success with the business are two different things. So you're going to be able to first get a case study from JVZoo Academy here, a case study based on Bolt Publisher. Perhaps some of you guys have access to that. And of course, you can see it here as well and can follow through. Oh, let me actually, give me one quick second here. The battery on my not laptop, but my battery on my mouse actually just died if you got the pop-up there. All right. I'm still here, guys. The screen is not moving because my mouse just died on me on a live webinar. The benefits of having a wireless mouse. All right. So you have the software mindset here. So you're gonna go through this again. This is a very cool way to focus on low cost, but focus on effect. Focus on effect. It means that you're gonna create a software, even if it's low cost, it's going to it's going to serve a purpose. Again, it doesn't need to look good. It doesn't need to look all fancy and stuff. It just needs to work. Right? So you're going to be able to get an idea here and follow a mindset and stay focused. Learn how to stay focused on what's the most important thing. Function, not all the glittery details that makes something great. That's very important, because a lot of people focus on the graphical stuff, right? So they focus on, hey, I want to make this look really good, and of course, it's not only going to cost. If you want good-looking software and function, it's going to cost you double. Instead, this is going to teach you how to basically balance between the two, because you don't want an ugly software that people can't use because it's just too hard to use, right? So you have to have a mindset that follows a perfect balance between the two. So you're gonna get that with the training here. So let me go back a bit. So once you're done with the mindset, you understand what you need to do. Is you're gonna need to find and learn what kind of profitable software you can create. Now, a lot of people will say, hey, everything in the world has already been created. Everything in the world has been created, and it would be crazy to compete with the big names out there. It would be useless, and I would just fail. If you're someone who's a naysayer, and I'm sorry to tell you, that won't ever help you build a business. Think about it this way. ClickFunnels was released, what, 2-3 years ago? And before ClickFunnels, there was already lead pages. There was already a lot of landing page posts. There was Dreamweaver. But ClickFunnels made it through. ClickFunnels made money because it served a specific purpose. It focused on creating marketing pages that a lot of people work, something that lead pages is not able to do. Flexibility in a way. Now, ClickFunnels was already hitting the market, but a lot of other landing pages came up. One of them was ours, which is InstaSuite, and it still made money because it still served a purpose. Don't focus on the big names out there. Don't be afraid to compete with them. As long as you have 1 or 2 unique features, your software will stand out. So what was the unique feature that makes, for example, our product or InstaSuite better than ClickFunnels? Landing pages, they were ahead of us. But we had an all-around approach instead. So you don't need to buy other products like a membership site or a blog or an email marketing platform, and that's what made us different. Now, is it better? Is it more functional when it comes to landing pages one by one? No. ClickFunnels already has 2 years of improvement upgrades ahead of us. They have less bugs because they had more time to work on it than we do. But we still were able to compete because we had that one unique selling point. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be one unique selling point that you can put your product on. And with this formula, you'll be able to find profitable software ideas and enter or create your own twist to it. So let me show you, let me give you a sneak peek on what's inside the training. All right, so you have a video here, and you also have the training here as well. So you're going to look at trends, you're going to look at launch calendars, how to look at that, understanding the market and how much would the market pay for it, and who your current customers are, and connecting with others as well, your competition and all. Of course, fill in the gap where the product failed and using that as your unique selling point. All right, so guys, let me know if everything's making sense so far. Give me a yes if everything's clear, or if you have any questions along the way. All right, perfect. Everything's clear so far. So if by all means I'm going too fast, if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat, guys. Just drop them in there. I might not be able to answer it right away, but I'm gonna get to it once we do have a Q&A. All right. So, and here's the big thing. Something that I actually had a dispute a couple of years ago when I was creating a WordPress plugin, choosing and finalizing the software idea. One thing that developers actually really don't like is when you have agreed on the features and all, only to have additional changes because you want more things added to it. So you're going to be able to learn and choose and finalize the software idea, and the rest can be delivered perhaps if you have a recurring fee from your software, like a subscription, you can deliver that over time. But make sure to choose and finalize the software idea so everything is going to be clear and concise. And you're going to learn that here. Aside from the video, you're also going to get access to the PDF training here. All right, and how much the need is. And for that, if you have a closed idea on what you need from the software, it's easier for your developer as well to give you a quick estimate in how much the development cost would be. Because open-ended just doesn't work for something like this. You have to have a specific set of features, function, and close that idea so that they can provide you with an accurate estimate. So once you've done that, now you're going to be putting yourself in a position for success. All right, so let me show you this as well. There we go. So naming your product, make it a name that everyone can quickly remember. So we could have named InstaSuite, for example, 6-in-1 marketing platform for marketers. Now, if we made that software name like that, very long software name, would you remember it? Would you remember it compared to just InstaSuite 2.0? Which would actually make a lot more sense? 6-in-1 marketing platform or Kyvio or InstaSuite 2.0? Of course, the shorter name would make sense. It's a lot easier to remember. And of course, you create a name that has a verb to it, some kind of ring to it that points that there is an action that can happen if you use that software. So aside from that, you're gonna be able to use a quick guide to name your software, how to use a domain name so you can register to help you rank. Because the idea is when you create a software, it's not going to be just a one-time thing. You develop it, you create it, you launch it, and it's going to continue making money for you, right? You do that so that you can pay people up, right? You can pay your staff, you can pay yourself, and even if you're not working on it anymore, it's still going to make you money. You need to create a website based on that. So logo creation, deciding on a theme as well is included here. So you have that mindset and that guide to help you get a proper name for a software and the domain name as well that can get organic traffic and generate sales on its own. All right. Now, once you have the software developed, what's the other part that actually makes money? It's not the software creation, but it's going to be how you're going to promote it, how you're going to sell the product. Now, some would say, I just need to create a product and people will find it. Maybe that's true 5-6 years ago, but with so much content going around right now, it's hard to get people to listen. You have to find your market where people are actually interested in buying products right off the bat. And of course, you're going to need people as well that will do the marketing for you, which is going to be the affiliate marketing part. It's the same way why a lot of people decide to just sell on Amazon compared to sell on their own platform, on WooCommerce, for example. Why? Because Amazon already has the buyers. You don't need to advertise, or you have the option to advertise, but you don't really need to because there's already a lot of customers there who are already in a buying mood. Buyers, not just visitors. Because if you go to Amazon, you're not just kind of like browsing through. You're looking for a product that you can buy for Christmas, a product you can buy for the holidays, for example. So you are already in a buying mood. So first is with this topic, we're going to talk about how you can get your products listed on, for example, MunchEye, and attract affiliates to do the promotions for you. Deciding how to promote your software and scheduling your launch as well so that more people can get on it and start promoting you. And you can either give a 50% commission, which is the standard right now for every product, or give something that is going to be a recurring amount, depending on how you want to how you like to structure your product. So you're going to get pros and cons here as well as a complete guide on how to make everything ready. So as you can see here, you have the training on how to set up everything here to create your own launch and list it together with the A players. And once you have decided how to promote your product, the next step would be making things happen in delivering the product. How to create a quality-looking software, posting a job, creating a UI designer, and all that. You have a template here already included, so you don't have to exactly start from scratch and start somewhere and make expensive mistakes along the way. You have a complete system here to help you. You even have a template that you can use right off the bat. And now once you have the software, you can how to create a walkthrough video and basically a mindset of how a walkthrough video should work. Next lesson, right? Going to be a guide on how to create your own admin dashboard. Now, the admin dashboard is something a lot of people don't really think about because maybe they thought that maybe the account creation system will work perfectly, but nothing would work perfectly. The admin dashboard is something that is essential for every product out there. Regardless if you release a SaaS software, a WordPress plugin, you're going to need an admin dashboard to make sure if something does go wrong, you can manually override the process. Or perhaps if your customer is not able to find the updated version or get the license key, you can manually override from there. Or perhaps if you have another development team working on a project or working for upgrades or updates, you'll be able to upload the new version there yourself. You don't need a programmer, you don't need a coder to do that for you. Make it part of the project to create an admin dashboard, because it will save you a lot of headache in the long run. And of course, if you do that, if you're going to plan to license off the software to someone else, to sell it, for example, to flip the entire software, then you can easily do that with the software, or with the admin dashboard, I would say. All right, so you're gonna get that here as well. So it's gonna show you a quick example, which is very, very important that you can show to your developers as well. Because a lot of the developers don't understand what an admin dashboard would look like or should look like. Because they always think like a developer, thinking that everybody knows how to code and that's it. Something that a lot of startups make a mistake on, because they solely rely on that developer to do all the work. What if something happens? That's what the admin dashboard is for. Now, you have the developers, you have the plan, you have the admin dashboard, let's say. Now, you're going to run into problems. So before you even run into problems, you're gonna be able to use this training here on how to avoid those from even happening. All right. So first is how you can differentiate a front-end developer from a back-end developer. Some developers would say that, hi, I've done both, but that's not always the case. Remember, the front end is where your customers use the software. It needs to be intuitive, it needs to be easy to use and functional. That means if ever you're going to need to embed a code, it's going to be a simple copy and paste. You don't need to go through different places, add some code into that to make it work. Make it as easy as possible, and that's what front-end developers do. They understand the human aspect of using a software. Something that Apple actually does really, really well with their operating system compared to, let's say, Linux. Linux would be a good example of what would happen to a system if everyone is a backend developer, right? Linux is actually developed by programmers themselves, and the problem was that they were all developed by programmers themselves. That means no UI designer was there, so it's difficult to use even from the get-go. Exactly, it needs to complete on its own as much as possible. Not complete on its own, but as much as possible. Front-end developers have this mindset, right? That a good software should be something that even a 7-year-old can use. It doesn't need to be fancy, but it needs to be something that a 7-year-old can do. And the backend developers are the other way around. It just has to work. We don't care how complicated it is, but it works, it works. So you need to to differentiate the two between what you need right now in your business and how you can avoid those problems. All right, so you have coding languages as well that you need. So it's going to walk through different coding languages that's going to be a good fit for your business, for your product. So if you're talking about SaaS-based, perhaps you're going to need a PHP developer. But if you need something that's going to be WordPress-based, then you need a WordPress developer in a way, not a SaaS where someone is focused on Laravel PHP perhaps. So you're going to be able to learn and differentiate different kinds of languages so that you can hire the right person for the job. All right, and of course you're gonna get estimates as well on how everything should look like and how everything would work for each of those jobs. This way, since you know exactly what you're looking for, you know exactly what is their function of each person, you're going to avoid a lot of problems along the way. All right, and now let's go to the filtering part. How to find the right developer for you. So talking about how to find developers on Upwork, creating an account, hiring a job post, doing a job post on onlinejobs.ph, and how to find a backend developer with the correct template. Because you have to understand that backend developers, I think of them as, well, being a project manager myself, I often think about project managers somewhat of kind of like robots, right? They don't have that kind of emotion, right? They don't really have that kind of emotion, so it has to be very objective. It has to be very objective to the point that there's no emotion involved with them. It has to be clearly stated what they need to do. And you're going to get that template here so that you don't run into future problems because you hired the wrong developer. Perhaps it wasn't clear to him, or it wasn't really understood what you are looking for. And you're going to get that here as well, together with the trading. All right, so 13 is how not to overpay your developers. Remember, developers, although they make a lot of things happen in your business, you have to make sure that you're not paying them too much. You have to stay competitive when it comes to costs. Remember, how you create a business is going to be minimizing cost while maximizing profitability. And this actually makes sure that you never overpay someone just because you're reliant on their skills. Right? So which developers are cheaper, how much is the running rate, and all that, and how much it would cost you to spend an entire work or develop a WordPress plugin. So you get estimates here, again, depending on the complexity of the software as well. Guys, before I proceed, is everything making sense so far? And is this helping you make a decision right now if this is something that you can go for? Again, as I mentioned earlier, we're not going to focus on a lot of sales stuff because I want to be as informative as possible about this course if it's going to be a right fit for you. Because you have to know what's inside before you can make that decision. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat. All right? So going back to the question earlier, how much would it cost? Again, it depends on the platform. It depends on the functionality or the complexity. But if you're talking about a WordPress plugin, we can go as broad as possible. It can cost anywhere from $200 to $500, starting from scratch, if you want to sell a WordPress plugin. All right, so I have a question here from Aikido. If you pay for a software developed, do you ever hire a second to do the backend and switching developers? It depends. If you're just talking about a WordPress plugin, then you don't really need a front-end developer. Because a WordPress plugin is a WordPress plugin. It doesn't need to go into the server and everything like that. Eventually, if you're going to do a version 1, perhaps the version 1 will look a bit pale, or it will look pretty much basic. But eventually, when you run a version 2, version 3, you can improve from there. Small steps. If you want to test out the market, go for, let's say, a $200 or $300 budget for a simple WordPress plugin. Launch it and see if you're able to make $1,500 or $5,000 out of it. And from there, you can launch a version 2 perhaps, or you can launch another software and with a bigger budget. based on what you acquired in the first one. It's always going to start with small steps. It's never a good idea to just throw money onto the developers and thinking or just waiting for a miracle to happen. It's always going to be small steps that will get you there. Exactly. Rinse and repeat, rinse and improve. All right, so let's move on here. So what is the cost? I have another question here. What is the cost for a desktop software versus online software, like a ballpark price? Again, it's really, that question is very general in a way, right? I'm gonna give you a ballpark figure. So let's say you want something that's auto post on Facebook, right? It was auto post on Facebook. So a desktop version, you have to think about this. Do you have customers, or are your customers are they using Windows computers or using Macs? But if you want to do both, then you need like a backend developer that knows Adobe Air. So this way you can work on Mac and the software can work on Windows as well. And depending on the functionality, it can cost anywhere from I think for Adobe Air it could cost anywhere from $500 to $1,000. Again, it really depends on how complex the software is. I don't want to give you like a underestimate because I oversimplified it. It really depends on what you want or what features are you looking for. And that's actually very important for this course because it teaches you how to value each feature and gives you kind of like your own estimate in how much development would cost. It doesn't need to cost thousands of dollars, I would say. Again, start from small steps and continue building from there. So I have another question here. Can you relaunch a reseller product that are white label? If you have white label and you have reseller rights, of course you can relaunch it. Better if you have your own branding there. Because remember, when you sell a software, you're not just selling it one time. You're building your name as well. You're building your brand so that you can get those old customers and get them to buy the new one that you develop. You have to understand that it's all about branding. If you're not branding your software, then it's not going to help you in the long run. Maybe you do well today, but since there's no branding, your customers won't remember your name, you won't remember the company that they used to get this feature, then they won't buy it. You have to start from scratch again. You have to build the trust again. All right, so going with the 14th session, which is going to be good developers from bad developers. So you'll be able to learn how you can match the developer skills and how you can filter the good ones from the bad ones. So you're going to get training on that here as well. All right, so going to the next one, and of course, how to do an interview with a developer. Again, the steps here, you might sound that, hey, this is something that maybe is familiar to you, but a lot of people don't have any experience with developers. And you have to ask the right questions, and you have to know what exactly you like to happen so that it would be a good fit. You don't overcomplicate things because it will cost you more money, and you have to create a finishing line that you and your developers can agree on so that everything will be accounted for. And this is practically what the training is all about. You get all of those, right? All of those inside the lesson plan, all 20, or not 20, but all 30 trainings here. Finding the right developer, how to not overpay, how the questions to ask, the strict schedule, beginning your software, security for your completed work, how to make sure that work never gets away, how to track your project's progress, how to keep the the momentum, how to review development work, the bugs, and how you can track and fix them. Developing your own software, understanding how JVZoo connects to your customer, or how JVZoo connects to your software, how you can make account creation automatic. So if someone buys, you don't need to manually create an account. A lot of startups do that. It takes time, and it actually increases the refund because remember, customers want to get their logins quickly or their access quickly so they can start playing with it. And if you delay like an hour, 2 hours, they will tell you that, hey, I haven't received my logins, I still can access the software, just give me a refund instead. I can't wait for this any longer. It's not worth the 17 bucks, it's not worth the 27 bucks that I paid for. And even worse if they file a PayPal dispute, because it's gonna get you in trouble with PayPal as well. If someone or a lot of people will issue a resolution on PayPal. All right, so now you can get that as well, how to automate stuff for the account creation, testing your software in JVZoo, supporting your customers using the software, improving your software, and first continuing to sell your software even if you have already started working on the next one. All of that is detailed inside the training itself. So this way, you don't actually commit those expensive mistakes that a lot of startups make. You have a clear roadmap, you have a clear strategy, and you have a clear filter on who you would like to build the team or who you would like to build the company with. And of course, by doing that, you eliminate almost 99% of problems that startups face every single day when they develop their first tool. All right, so guys, let me know if this is an amazing training that you've been looking into and start creating your own software right now. Remember, info products are great, but if you really want to sell a lot and build your name, you have to develop your own software. And with this training, you'll be able to get step-by-step instructions on how to do just that. On top of that, we're actually giving away some special bonuses for those who get access through our link. All right, so if you want the link to the bonus page, just type in bonus in the chat, and I'm going to walk you through all the bonuses that you're going to be able to get with our link. So will there be a replay? A replay will be available by 8 p.m. Eastern, or I will try to send an email for you before that. All right, so this is the complete guide, guys, on how you can create and start your own software company. Again, it doesn't need to cost a fortune. You just need to start from somewhere. All right, so let me send this to everybody first, and let me walk you through the bonuses here. All right, so the replay, for those who are asking about it, is going to be on the bonus page, but of course not available now because this is a live webinar, but it's going to be available as promised by 8 p.m. on or before 8 p.m. Eastern today. All right, so first is you're going to get access to Turbo Ecom. You're also going to be able to get WooFill plugin as well, WP Badass Countdown plugins. If you have a WordPress plugin, you can use this to create a sales page. You can have ClickBank payment page generator. So if you're applying to launch your product on ClickBank, for example, or your ebook, or perhaps your training, you can do that here. You'll also get white label rights. So talking about white label rights earlier, you're going to get white label rights to Audience Drill. So that means you'll be able to rebrand Audience Drill to your own name and launch it as your own products. Right? And of course, you're also going to get white label sales blueprint as well. So again, with white label, you can completely rebrand this product and sell it as your own. And of course, you can keep 100% of the profits as well. All right. So if you're familiar with Video Sales Blueprint, again, it's going to be a blueprint on how you can create the perfect sales videos. All right. You're also going to be able to get, let me scroll down a bit here, WP Profit Doubler software. Again, if you want to create your own money-making website, like a passive income website, this is something that you can use to do just that on WordPress. And you also have the WP Testimonial Pro. This is a plugin that you can use to create testimonials from your customers and supporters. You also get the Tube monetizer as well. This works in WordPress, and you can monetize any YouTube video with your own links. You'll also be able to get the WP Tube Maximizer, and of course, monetize any content on YouTube in under 5 minutes of work. And of course, you also get the Marketing Graphics Toolkit, which contains over 1,500 different video skins, mini templates, squeeze templates, and so much more. So you get all 11 bonuses right now, guys, including the 2 white label software, by getting access through our link. Now, as promised, we will be picking one lucky winner on the webinar. The most active one will get a free copy of this training today. So let me see who wins the free copy here. Again, the ones with the most active are going to get a free copy. Let me see. We have Aikido, we have David, we have Joy, and we have Mandy. Let me see. I think Mandy and let me see. Mandy has 10. Joy has 9, I think. It's actually a very close call. All right, so, and we have Friend as well. All right, actually, Joy, you actually beat, I actually forgot, let me just arrange it here. You actually beat Mandy by 2 comments or 2 feedback or 2 replies. So you're going to be the winner for the free copy on today's call. All right, so Joy, if you want to get the free copy, just type in your email address in the chat so that I can send you the access within 24 hours. Titans, I do apologize. I only see around 2 comments from you. So we don't actually select by random. We select based on the number of comments there. All right. So Joy, let me get your email first. And for those who didn't win, though, you can still get a great deal by getting access to this with our link, link.kvsocial.com/SLS, and everything that I showed you is available for you for a low one-time fee of $17. So again, congratulations, Joy, for winning the free copy. For those who did not win, please continue joining our webinars, our live webinars, that is, every day or every time something does happen. All right. So again, congratulations to you, Joy, for winning a free copy. Just expect an email from us or from Sam within a 24-hour period. All right. So all of this is going to be included. I showed you all 30 different lessons available for you for only $17. One-time, lifetime access fee. And of course, you do have the 7-day money-back guarantee to make sure that you get your money's worth. If you're not happy with the blueprint, you don't see the value in it, all you have to do is just contact support and you'll be able to get a full refund. That is our guarantee. All right. So let's say, for example, you need something more advanced. You're gonna need to create a more complex software. You don't want to start, or perhaps it's gonna be your second software developed, and you're gonna need more advanced training. And this is what the upgrade is gonna be all about. So software launch system masterclass is going to be how you can maximize profitability for every software, how to follow the money and follow what is working. You're going to be able to get that as well with the training here. You get the basics on the main offer, and you get the more advanced features if you really want to build a business and, of course, expand and make it as big as possible. That's what the masterclass is going to be all about. All right, so with this, you'll also be going to be able to maximize your ROI by easily creating profitable software on time and on budget. And first, you're going to include the training on how to launch your own software with zero upfront investment, means pre-selling it or finding someone who has a software that you can sell as a partner. All right, so all in all, for the upgrade, you're going to get a copy and paste blueprint behind the $4 million in software sales. over-the-shoulder training plus templates for all the resources you need, and of course, unlimited scaling potential and tap into the most lucrative industry in internet marketing, step by step to at least 1K in profits as little as 7 days, and underground secrets to launching your software with zero upfront investment. And of course, evergreen passive profits by quickly creating assets that pay you today, tomorrow, and the long term. All of this is going to be available on the upgrade, which is the masterclass, all for a one-time fee of only $47. All right, so guys, if you're jumping in for the main offer, give me a 1. A 2 if you're getting the masterclass upgrade as well for a one-time fee of $47 today. And of course, it's also covered with a 14-day or a 7-day money-back guarantee. So you have a full 1 week to use the training, go through it, and if you see it's going to be something that you can do, or if it's something that you would be interested in doing. And of course, if ever you are not fully satisfied, you can just contact support and you can get a full refund for your purchase as well. It's $17. It won't cost you a lot of money, but it's gonna give you and save you a lot of money in the long run if you want to build a real online business. All right. So for those who do have questions, Joy, I'm gonna send you the link to the upgrade just in case you would like to check that out. And again, if you do want to get the upgrade, just make sure to get it with the same email address so that you can get the same access as well with the same account. Otherwise, you're gonna need to jump from one account to another, or your logins won't work entirely. Okay. So there we go. All right. So 1 says Chris. Joy said yes. And let me know, guys, if you are jumping in. Again, it might be a complicated process, but if you have the right strategy to help you get there, it's going to be way easier from starting from scratch. If you have $50 to $100 right now that you could spend and try to make a software with today, then it's gonna help you get started. If you even have white label license to any software, then it's just sitting there, not doing anything. You can use that and start marketing it the right way and make perhaps your first $2,000, make your first $5,000 in sales, just like that, if you have the right system. All right, no problem, friend. Again, no problem, friend. If you're currently not ready to create your own software, that's perfectly fine. But again, for those who are looking into it, who have the time, or even just an hour, 2 hours of every week to work on it, then this is going to be a training that can help you save money because you're able to filter the good from the bad, and of course, you're also going to be able to have the right mindset and the right plan all along to create that awesome tool. All right, so guys, just in case you have any questions, you can contact me, Neil, from anywhere in the KV Social support team via kvsocial.zendesk.com or support@kvsocial.com if you want to send a direct email. Or if you need any problems, you have problems with the account, you can't log in, or you have some questions about the launch formula, then you can contact Sam Baker Support via sambakersupport.com. All right, so guys, before I wrap things up, let me know if you have any other questions. Put in a number 10 right now if you're still typing in a question, so that we can wait for a bit. Otherwise, we're going to wrap things up so that you can make that decision and start making money right now with your own software and start building it from there. All right? It can work with any software, guys. The same strategy will always work with any software. Particularly, again, go with the least amount of work, which is going to be JVZoo, but JVZoo already has a lot of customers and already has affiliates that can sell your software for you. All right, no problem, Chris. All right, so guys, since I don't see any other questions coming in, we're gonna wrap things up. Once again, if you bought ThoroughLink, you can access our bonuses by clicking on Access Your Bonus from Neil Napier on the congratulations page on JVZoo. And if you need any help, if you can't find our bonuses or simply want to ask questions, you can contact me or anyone on the KV Social support team via kvsocial.zendesk.com or kvsocial at support at kvsocial.com rather in the email. All right, so guys, thank you for being on the call. Again, congratulations, Joy, for winning the free copy. And for those who did not win, better luck next time, I would say. And keep on joining our webinars and to win a free copy on the next upcoming webinars. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.